Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr Deputy President. And thank you to Senator Lambie for pointing out in this motion the need for this Labor, Greens, Teal, Pocock government to start adhering to the principles of transparency and accountability for good government, as Labor promised before the election. Since assuming office in 2022, the Albanese government and their Greens and Teal coalition partners have completely ignored these principles. It's clear that on big issues, Labor uses the deliberate tactic of hiding facts and lying or telling half-truths to deceive Australian voters. The list of examples is long, and I'll touch on some of them. The Prime Minister promised to hold a Royal Commission into the government response to COVID-19. Where is it? Dragged kicking and screaming, the government agreed to set up a whitewashed committee of inquiry, lacking the powers to inquire, with insiders and cheerleaders of state and federal governments heading the whitewash, and with terms of reference excluding the state's actions. What are they trying to hide? Admittedly, the government did not oppose my successful motion to refer the drafting of terms of reference for a possible future Royal Commission. Yet it was forced to do so after the government's announcement of its whitewash inquiry was ridiculed and panned in this chamber and across Australia. And what about the abuse of Senate processes? Labor have mastered the art of guillotining debate on major issues in this Senate. This is to avoid public scrutiny of government bills when the government have the numbers to pass a bill, yet do not want debate that may reveal deficiencies and inequities of proposed legislation that would embarrass the government or expose Labor power grabs. In conjunction with their Senate coalition partners in the Greens and Teal, Senator Pocock, and sadly, all too often, the Jackie Lambie network. In the same vein, orders for the production of government-held documents are routinely delayed and withheld. Replies to requests may say they hold them, yet decline to provide them without reasons. Right to information requests become the norm, even though senators should be able to access the documents routinely. Today, the government is introducing industrial relations legislation that the private sector, from small businesses to major employers, almost universally canned as overly complicated, deceitful and damaging to the Australian economy. Workers and employers see government industrial relations bills as giving union bosses enormous power as a reward for union bosses steering members' union fees into Labor campaign funding. One Nation is introducing an amendment to clarify the rights of so-called casual black coal miners who have been underpaid each year, on average, around $33,000 a year. The culprits are labour hire firms, including the world's largest labour hire firm, with the agreement of the CFMEU union bosses who chose to shaft their members in return for favours from employers. The government's own Fair Work Commission signed off on sham enterprise agreements without proper scrutiny. One Nation will hold this dishonest government accountable.